Well, it was interesting because it wasn't that long ago we had a pretty gentle start out of Auckland and a pretty gentle introduction into the south. But since we've been in the breeze, the south has really delivered what it's all about, and it does feel like we've been down here a very long time, getting wet and hosed and tired and cold. But suddenly now the end is in sight. There's like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of a little bit like a proud mom moment. I mean, they've been asking me questions throughout this leg. We've been the furthest south they've ever been, and they were asking if I'd been further south. And then every time we jived, I was reminding them that one of my occasions down here was actually upwind as well. And so we've shared a few jokes about that. But this moment now is I've got 6 people that had never been in the Southern Ocean before leg 3. One of which had never been in the Southern Ocean before leaving Auckland, who are all about 2 and a few miles time round Cape Horn, that notorious landmark that not many people get to do. And they've been working really hard, very diligent, and have never kind of dropped their heads. There's been some tough moments where they've all been wet and cold and tired and could really be over it. And I've promised them warm beaches and caipirinhas in Brazil. They just have to keep working for it, and they've definitely done that. Yeah, it's been hard before because, when the pressure's on and the wind's up, we've normally fallen off the pace. And this leg we seem to have found the groove, and we've made some really good tactical decisions on when to jibe and, where to position ourselves. And we've managed to stay in the middle of the pack. We're confident in how to set the boat up and get it sailing. And I think that's reflected in how close we've been to the fleet throughout this whole leg, when most people would normally have written us off for a Southern Ocean leg, a big wind, big waves leg. They thought we could only do it in the light winds, and here we are still with everybody at the key landmark, and there's a whole race left to go. And the race can easily be lost now, but it can't be won. There are winnings to be done in those final few thousand miles that we've still got to go. I think I'm very respectful of it, and the guys now have seen there's an element of tenacity, resilience, and all the kind of soft skills that people don't often talk about when you're talking about offshore sailing and racing. And I think those soft skills are much more important when you're in this kind of environment, and I think they've been tested to the limits. With the tragic news we've had this week, it's been very hard then for them to realign the balance. And I asked them today if they were excited about Cape Horn, and they said it had taken the excitement away a little bit, because it was the realization of how vulnerable they are down here, how hostile the environment is down here, and how quickly things can go bad, and how during the course of this leg they've all lost a friend, and that's affected everyone pretty deeply. And so we're saying that this rounding's definitely for fish. No, there's some interesting weather ahead, and it's not all going to be a complete change of conditions when we round the Horn, that's for sure. We've got some strong wind to get through first, but also there's lots of opportunities, and this coast of South America delivers quite a few options. I mean, Brunel are going to get this point leading around Cape Horn, and they've sailed exceptionally well down here. Watching them sail their own route, reduce the manoeuvres, they've done really well, but it's not in the bag at all, and there's a lot of opportunities up there. So the fact that we're within touching distance of everybody else gives us hope.